and some locations upper 90s, upper ridging will be building in. We're going to start with a check at the tropics. Two areas now that Alberto is done with that are going to be worth watching into the weekend, but neither pose any kind of serious threats and pose no threat to us. We've got one little wave that is now over land in Belize, so we'll see what happens once it emerges over the Bay of Campeche. Kind of eerily similar to what Alberto just did, and could be a rainmaker for almost the exact same parts of Mexico and maybe even southern Texas. Another area designated as Invest 92, also worth watching as it will move toward the coast of Florida, probably by early Saturday, already on land. So short window of opportunity for anything to really happen there. And as I mentioned, into the weekend, we'll be watching for some potential development. Bay of Campeche, southwestern Gulf. Again, looks like as of right now, not a really aggressive system being indicated, but more of a rainmaker that'll be moving on land. We'll also see kind of an upper troughing on the East Coast early next week. That should draw whatever little feature 92 becomes, will draw it northward. So it might move inland and then kind of get kicked back out over the open waters of the Atlantic. Elsewhere in the Gulf, we look quiet as we continue through much of next week. Of course, things can always kind of pop up, but I like the trend going through the Gulf over the next several days. New little area of convection, thunderstorms associated with what is being indicated as maybe the center of Invest 92. So if the thunderstorms get going and we're able to see a little bit more organization, it is possible it becomes our next named storm. Don't want to say with any real certainty, as the Hurricane Center as of right now only a 50% chance. So we could see a little bit better organization, maybe not, but if it does move inland, not going to make it very far before that upper troughing takes it away. So it does not look like it'll be threatening the Gulf of Mexico at all. Our winds inland have really settled since earlier in the day, and even offshore those winds have started to subside. With the strong east wind though still in play, coastal flood advisories will remain in effect until tomorrow evening. Now we'll already see improvement along our southern facing shoreline, so Grand Isle will have improvement before 6 p.m. It may not be until about 6 o'clock that we see other areas improving as high tides from, say, Venetian Isles, Shell Beach along the Mississippi coast, not until early tomorrow afternoon. So it may take a little bit more time there. We have mostly clear skies, but still enough moisture that we had a couple of little light sprinkles kind of showing up south of the Mississippi Sound, moving toward Venetian Isles right now. A little bit of light rain there, and elsewhere we are done with the showers. So fewer and fewer showers, and by this weekend, keeping the rain out of the forecast. Mostly clear out toward downtown at the moment, 83 degrees, a pretty typical summer evening. A little bit of a breeze still out at Kenner at 11 miles an hour. 70s and low 80s at the moment, and temperatures only dropping further into the 70s during the overnight period. Here's a big controlling factor for our weather over the coming days, upper high. As this builds in, it is a blocking pattern. So again, looking at the weekend, anything down in the Bay of Campeche cannot come into this high. It gets deflected over into Mexico. As that high, though, settles right on top of us, that's when we're expecting some of our hottest temperatures. So certainly the end of the weekend and into early next week. Now, it does look like we'll see kind of a deeper upper trough by next week that should start to bring in our rain chances back. Not necessarily a front per se, but a boundary that will help to initiate some more shower and thunderstorm activity. Now, this is looking at the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere. So here's kind of the triggering mechanism, this upper trough. At the surface, through the middle to end of next week, we're going to have a stronger onshore wind, which will be the fuel necessary for those thunderstorms. So setting up the stage for maybe better rain chances by the end of next week. And after several days in the mid and upper 90s and really no rain, we'll be begging for a few more cooling showers heading into the forecast. So 7 days, next 7 days, 20% chance for a few isolated, again, kind of quickly passing showers with that high settling in, especially Sunday, Monday. I don't really see much in the way of any rainfall. It may squeeze out an isolated shower because we'll have that onshore flow. But high temperatures will be into the mid, and again, could even see some spotty upper 90s. No real tropical moisture coming our way in the next 7 days, so you got to take it kind of a day at a time in hurricane season. But thankfully, the long range, it looks like we will stay quiet.